It is almost 9 and we are headed over to sit with my mother-in-law for a little bit. My husband is having to work this morning. She's having a hard time understanding where her husband is on a Saturday. So we're gonna go sit with her and knit. But it's just so pretty. Look at that sun. And it makes my hair so red. When my youngest was born, his head was like this color red all the time. It was crazy. And he had this crazy full head of hair. Today's kind of a fun day. I really need to clean the hermit crab tank. If you do not know, I do have hermit crabs. There's actually only 4 of them left alive. We started out with 7. 3 of them were all rescues, and 2 of the rescues passed away, and one of the ones that we bought without really knowing the process and how much trauma store-bought hermit crabs go through passed away. And I have a whole separate channel for my hermit crabs I really don't upload often to, but I will put a card at the end of this video and I'll tag it down below. But I'm called the Yarnie Hermit, go figure, because my boys, I'm thinking they're all boys, I don't know, I haven't really looked, are quite rambunctious little partiers, and they were all over their tank the last couple of days knocking stuff down. So it needs attention. Also, and this is kind of a little trigger warning, if you are triggered by spiders in any way, I need to take care of my spiders. So I have 3 jumping spiders. I had 4, and then one of them did pass during a molt. And they're kind of small, so 2 of them are in these smaller ones. This one's actually about to be big enough where you can move to a bigger container. But this is the perfect size when they're little slings. You can kind of see him right here. They're not really calm yet to like come on my hand, but they will come out, and I have had one of them sit on my hand for a little bit. The biggest one is in this container, and eventually these 2 will move to a container like this. I actually built this. I love building terrariums. It is one of my favorite things to do. But it has a little glow-in-the-dark spirit here and here, and then I crocheted the little hammock for them, and it has a little magnet so I can move it around. But these are actually food containers that I turn upside down. I get at Target, and I drill holes in them, and I decorate them for my spiders. And you can see I have like this fake plasticky lace on the back for them to climb, because as spiders age, jumping spiders average about a couple of years, sometimes 3 years, actually lose the ability to grip really well to the sides of things. And it's kind of hard to see, but they do lay webs all around the side of the container, and that's what they'll hold on to as they climb around. He does have a small hammock in this corner that he's been making. They're so much fun to watch. This one ate a huge mealworm the other day, so he is pretty full. And you kind of have to watch jumping spiders because they will overeat, and they can easily tear their bodies apart because their abdomen gets so heavy. But this is some little mushrooms that I painted, and everything in here is sealed so it cannot get mold. And the way you take care of jumping spiders is every day you have to mist them. So I use distilled water, bottled water. I don't use my water because there's a lot of chemicals in it. And I just lightly mist his enclosures, and that creates the humidity. And then I take them out every few days and I feed them. I do have a little feeding cup in here, and this one I can feed in here. He does pretty good with feeding in the cup. But the smaller ones, you kind of have to make sure they feed, so you have to feed them on a little towel. I was hoping it can get him to come out, but he kind of likes to stay in his little cave and come out kind of in the afternoon. And he could be molting because he ate that huge meal the other day. They do molt. They do several molts, and as they grow, they actually shed their exoskeleton, and they have like these little, it looks like helmets that they shed for their head as they grow. And you can actually collect those, which are really cute, but they're so microscopic when they're babies. And now he's a much bigger spider. You can see his little white fangs. So cute. I also wanted to show you, so this is the little plant that's in its thing, and you can see where they make their hammock. He's made his in the bottom of this plant, and he has a smaller one in the top part, and that's where he returns to every night in his little home. This is my Hermit Crab enclosure. It is a 45-gallon tank on the bottom. That's a tall. And then it's a 25-gallon Exoterra tank flipped upside down. You can see I do have some crocheted things in here as well for my hermit crabs to climb on. I've had all of our crabs for over a year, really about 2 years. And there is over 15 inches of sand, and the sand has to say sandcastle consistency because it does have a heat source. They have got to have 75 degrees to 80 degrees at all times. It's better if they're closer to 80 degrees, and they have to have at least 75 to 80% humidity at all times. And that's why it has to be sealed to create that summer environment in there. They've knocked over this thing. It was actually all the way up here, but they knocked it out and I just kind of stuck it over there so nobody would get hurt on it. And they knocked one of their food bowls down there. It's now it's been about an hour or so, but the water has been changed. All the shells have been cleaned and that's been put back up. So now I just have to put in the fresh food when I get back. And here marks the end of the day. It is 5:20 and I didn't even get a lot of knitting done today. We did get the tank clean, so I hope you thought that was kind of cool. They're kind of a weird pet. They're not the best pet for kids, and I hate that they're sold in souvenir shops as this easy to care for pet, because they're not. And most people, when they buy one and they take it home and they start researching and realizing how intensive it is to take care of them and how much you need as far as the salt water, because the salt water has to be made with reef salt like you put in a saltwater tank, and the fresh water and the salt water have to be either changed daily or they have to have like a filtration, and mine have pumps in there. So I just do water changes once a month, and you have to put the prime in the water to get out all the chlorine and stuff. And they have to have fresh food all the time. To be a pet that you hardly ever see, they're a lot of work. I don't think a lot of people realize that about them, but I do love my hermit crabs. I did get a couple of rows done today though, not many, so this hasn't grown that much. It's a slow process. I do plan on knitting a lot tomorrow. It's just been a busy week, and my husband is not working until probably Wednesday of next week, which means things will definitely slow down for me. I don't have to go back and forth to my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house as much, so I actually can knit and relax. Although I do have a dentist appointment next week. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to all those who have actually left me super chats and super thanks. I do have memberships kind of in the works. Mine are going to be very low tiered. It's more if you just want to support the channel. I'm not going to activate those till I move out here because I cannot keep my end of the bargain yet. I can't schedule lives or anything, and I feel like for me to be able to offer those memberships and those kind of things, I need to be able to hold my end of the bargain, and I can't do that yet. And so I don't want to open those up. I have them already pretty much set up and planned. I've even made custom little stickers things for you guys. Like, I've done all the work. I just haven't hit go. But several people have left me super thanks and super stickers. So I have this really cute video that I worked really hard for you guys, and I have not had a live to show it. So I'm going to be sticking that at the end of this video. Also, just to kind of celebrate my birthday, because I'm not going to lie, the last couple of days I've been kind of a little bit gloomy because of the whole camera situation. But it is what it is. Honestly, things will still go on. I will get another camera one day, and I can figure out workarounds for the time being for this one. It just kind of makes me sad because it was a Mother's Day present, and you know, there's random people screaming outside. I don't know what that's about. And yeah, so thank you. I'm going to tag those down below who have left those for me, just to kind of, again, as a special shout out and thank you to them. They're greatly appreciated. But even just watching my videos from the beginning to end and hitting that thumbs up is so vital for channels. That is the main thing that YouTube really uses as indicators of content that others may enjoy, and so they push those videos out. And when our channels grow, we do have more opportunities to make money through AdSense, which will allow me to pay for shipping of things, because I do have some prizes, but I haven't got paid from YouTube yet.